What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today in this video I'm going to show you how to replace the sky in any image in Photoshop, no matter how complex the photo may be. If you have any experience in editing photos, you know that pretty complex photos, to mask it all out and replace the sky, it can take some time. Especially with this image with all these individual strands of hair here, it can cause a lot of issues when trying to do that. But thankfully, using an app called Luminar 4, or I should say plugin for Photoshop called Luminar 4, the process is very simple and it only takes a number of seconds. So once you have Photoshop loaded up here and you have your picture selected, all you have to do is hit Filter, Skylum Software, and then open up Luminar 4. But before I do that, I'm going to make a copy of the background layer, just so in case I mess up, I have something to go back on. Once you're ready, you just open up Luminar 4. And this might take a minute depending on the speed of your computer, but mine tends to be pretty quick, so it doesn't take that long. But once it's loaded up, it'll pull the picture right from Photoshop. And as you can see here on the Essentials tab, you have a bunch of settings that you can tweak. If I go into light here, you can adjust the temperature to make it more blue or more yellow, the tint to make it more green or more pink, the exposure to make it lighter or darker, the contrast, highlights, shadows, etc. If you click on advanced settings, you have the tone curve right here. So basically what this section is the camera raw filter in Photoshop. I'm going to skip over all this because I like the way the image looks right now. I already made some slight edits beforehand. So I'm just going to click on this creative tab, and as you can see right here at the top, you have AI sky replacement. You click on that and you click on sky selection, and you can see that they have a bunch of preset skies built into the program, but you can also load your custom skies by clicking this button right here. I found for this video that Bright Blue Sky 3 looks the best for the image, so once I find one I like, I'm just going to click on it, and boom, you can see that it replaces the sky perfectly, even in the little strands of hair here. There's a few more settings I want to go over, however, to make the picture actually look realistic. As you can see here, it blends in a little bit too much with the trees, so to fix that, I can just turn up the horizon blending just a little bit. And I think that looks good. I'm also going to change the horizon position just a little bit. I don't want to go too much because even if I turn it up to 9, you can see that this is not the horizon. The horizon should be down here. So I'm going to bring that back. I'm probably going to change it to even 1, maybe 2. No, not 3, 2. I think that looks pretty good right there. Now you can see that it's no longer blending. What makes this program really powerful, however, is not just the masking, it's also the automatic color correction or color matching with the background. If I were to select, for example, Sunset 3, which I've never seen before, that honestly doesn't look too bad. You can see that her skin color has changed to match the light. If I were to drag this all the way down to the bottom, you would see no color correction, and that picture does not look right. If I turn it all the way up to 100, you really see it. However, I liked the way that this looked. Because I'm using Bright Blue Sky 3, I don't think it really needs too much. I'm going to leave the value about 21. I think that looks fine. I don't know what Sky Global does. Doesn't really seem to be affecting anything. Oh, there it goes. So if I turn that down to 0, you can see what it does. I'm just going to leave that at 20. I think that was the default value. I think it looks perfectly fine. If you click on advanced settings here, you get a few more options. Sky Local, don't know what this does. It doesn't really seem to be affecting this image too much if I turn it all the way up to 200. So in order not to mess anything up, I'm going to leave that at 0. This image still looks a little weird. You can see that in the background. It's all nice and blurred. The image has a really nice depth of field look to it. And the sky, you can see it clearly. So I'm going to change the sky defocus pretty high up. I think about 97. looks pretty well matched with the rest of the background. It also has the option to flip the sky, which I'm going to take a look at, and I think that looks a lot better than without flipped. Yeah, I like the way that that looks, so I'm going to leave that how it is. You can also change the temperature of the sky, make it a little bit more yellow, which obviously does not look right, and too blue also doesn't look right. I like the way that it looks right now, so I'm going to leave that at 0, and you can also turn up the brightness of the sky with a sky exposure. But once you get the settings that you like, all you have to do is hit this apply button, and it should pull it right into Photoshop. Perfect. And what's really cool about this app is that it doesn't apply to every single layer. It only applies to the layer that you have selected. So if I were to hide the layer 1, you can see the raw image, and if I unhide it, you can see the custom sky. And it's literally as simple as that. Everything is done for you. It takes just a number of seconds as opposed to a lot of time that it would have taken me if I didn't have this app. A link to it will be down in the description if you wanted to go check it out. And even if you didn't have Photoshop, it also is its own separate program that you can use on its own. And I like that ability too. So sometimes I'll just use Luminar. Most of the time though, I use it with Photoshop because there's a few more things in Photoshop that you can do with an image. But that's basically it. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you learned something. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comment section below. I'll be sure to answer those. And that's pretty much it for me. See you guys in the next one. Peace.